Awesome. Welcome to a complete step-by-step guide for Amazon FBA, taking you from wherever you are at now, whether that's complete zero or whether it's starting to sell. We're going to take you all the way up to $10,000 a month on Amazon. And the reason I'm making this video is because I've watched a lot of step-by-step guides on YouTube, and they're all really crap. A lot of them are teaching you the wrong information. And a lot of people are actually following that information, investing a lot of money, thousands of dollars, and not having success with Amazon FBA because they're not learning the stuff that works. Now, I've personally launched over 20 products successfully on Amazon FBA, and this is the process that I use. This is the process that I've distilled down that is continuing to work over and over, and it's why we have so many success stories. So congratulations, first of all, for being in the right place, because otherwise you will waste a lot of money and a lot of your time. And in this video, I'm just going to bring you as much value as possible. Everything that's in my head, all the knowledge, I'm just giving it to you so you can replicate the success that I've had with Amazon FBA for yourself. Now, this is part of a free training series on Amazon FBA that I'm coming out with to make sure that you're getting your goals, making sure you're getting to $10,000 a month for yourself. So make sure you click that link in the description and sign up for that free training series so I can actually send you these videos, the ones that are actually helpful and the ones that are here to get you to your goal. So once again, that link is in the description. And while you're clicking on that link, make sure you do like and make sure you do subscribe to this video because we have a lot of amazing content coming out here on Amazon, on YouTube as well. So today we're going to dive into the 5-step scientific formula, and we're going to go step by step. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to make sure that you are successful on Amazon and to make sure you're not wasting your money and your time. So we're going to start with finding our product, which is where most people get stuck and confused and overwhelmed. We're then going to be sourcing our product, making sure we get a trustworthy supplier, making sure our product can get there as quickly as possible. We're going to be boosting our product. Now, this is where most people fail. Step 3 is where most people fail. And this is where nobody else is actually out there teaching. And I'm shocked that they're not, because this is the key to being successful and the key to being impervious to any competition. Imagine not having to worry about, is a niche too competitive? That's what I'm going to show you in step 3. Step 4 is going to be listing your product on Amazon, how to get high SEO, how to get a high click-through rate, exactly the steps you need to do that. And then, of course, the launch. The biggest questions people ask, the biggest area once people take action that they fail is actually launching their product. So I'm going to go through exactly the steps you need to take right now, not 3 or 4 years ago, that is going to ensure that you have a successful launch. So let's start with step 1. So to find a product to sell on Amazon, it's really simple and really easy if you know where you're looking. And I've got 2 strategies, and you only need these 2 strategies. You don't need to look anywhere else because you will be able to find the product using these 2 strategies if you can just commit to the process. And once you find a product, it's all downhill from there. It's all happy. We just ride into 10K town together, and then we just repeat the process and start scaling. So how do you find winning product ideas? So what you do is there's a free way and there's a paid way. So I'm going to start with the free way, which is basically just coming to Amazon.com, come up to this search bar and start typing in letters. And you can see when you type in letters, Amazon are going to suggest products to you. Now, how they suggest these products, and this is really important to understand, is that these products are suggested based on the demand of this keyword. So when people type in M, most people follow that up with mousepad, then mechanical pencils, then magnesium. This is the highest demand search terms on Amazon. So what we know by this is that these products already have really high demand, which is very important. Probably the most important thing when selling a product is that it has high demand. And you can come down. The second thing I look for is ease to sell, which basically means cheap to buy, cheap to ship, because that's very necessary for a beginner product. You want it to be very cheap to buy, and I'll show you why in our launch phase, and very cheap to ship. And it's obvious why it's cheap to ship, because it saves you a lot of money in the short term. So I can come down to something like metal straws. Now, metal straws I know are going to be cheap to buy because they're straws. They're going to be cheap to ship because they're lightweight and small. So I've clicked on that. Now I come up to this software, and actually I said this is the free way, but this is a paid software. You can save money. You can save $20 if you use the link in the description. It's our affiliate link for you. And if you don't want to fork out money before you start selling on Amazon, you can use something called Unicorn Smasher, which is a free alternative to this. Not as accurate and doesn't provide as much data, but if you don't want to pay any money, it's a good alternative for you. Otherwise, if you're serious about this, grab Jungle Scout. It's a necessary tool if you're becoming an Amazon seller. What this tool does is it pulls all the back-end information on Amazon. So all the information we don't normally have access to, it pulls it into this one really neat, cool page. And now we can analyze this data together. So I'm going to sort by revenue because that's always what I do. Remember, the biggest thing you need is demand. And what better measure than demand? We first measured in search terms, but it's not as powerful as measuring it in revenue. So we sort by revenue, you can see, wow, this person is doing $76,000 per month on Amazon. All the way down here, all the way down, what's that, about 15 listings? 3, 6, 9, 12, about 15 listings. They're also doing over $10,000 a month on Amazon. And what was our goal? Our goal is to do $10,000 a month. So we know that 15 people selling these metal straws are doing our dream products goal, over $10,000 a month. So we know that the demand's there and it's really good, and the market depth is there. If you're looking for products on your end, make sure that the market depth is there for you, because there's only a couple people doing it. There's not much room for you to move in. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that and exactly how you can take advantage of something with market depth in just a second. So stay with us there. The second thing I look for is competition. So reviews. Reviews is a great way to look at competition. And you can see there's a couple of really big dogs in this market with thousands of reviews. This one's got 900 here, but sorry, did I sort by? Yeah, that's right. So it's got 3 over 1,000 and then a couple near 1,000, and then it sort of drops away. But if I go back and sort by reviews, revenue, I can see something that is probably the most important thing you need to look at when doing your product research. And that is that there are items here that are doing well over our goal, such as $33,000 a month, $18,000 a month, $16,000, $17,000, $15,000 a month. But have a look at their reviews. They've only got 1 review, 17 reviews, 1 review, 22 reviews, 16 reviews. These are new sellers who have moved into that market recently, obviously, because they've got low reviews, who are doing what we want to do. So we know that it's possible, because of the market depth, to be doing $10,000 a month in this niche as a new seller, as someone who doesn't have a lot of social proof with reviews. So you want to look at demand, you want to look at competition, but what I call this is the slowest gazelle. And I mean, if you're a lion and you're hunting a pack of gazelle, you're not hunting after the strongest, fittest, fastest gazelle, even though it's got the most delicious, tastiest meat on it. You actually, lions in the wild, and you as an Amazon seller and a lion, you're hunting after the weakest gazelle or the slowest gazelle, because they're the ones that's easiest to catch. They're the ones you spend the least energy on catching and still get really high quality meat when you actually catch it. And I'm sorry if you're vegetarian, this is just a metaphor. It means you're not going after this person here. You're not going after the person who has $76,000 a month, because it's not in our budget as a beginner. It's not in our marketing expertise as a beginner. But what we are doing is we want to go after this person and this person. So this person here has 17 reviews, and they're getting 80 sales a day at almost $19,000 a day. Now, all we need to do is attack that gazelle, attack that listing, and offer a better offer in the Amazon marketplace, and we're going to actually steal their position. So before I go into how we're going to steal this position, I want to show you the second way that you can do product research. And it's with Jungle Scout again, because they're such a great tool and such a strong company when it comes to finding and selling on Amazon. So I'm just going to log into what's called their web app, and then come down to find products up here. Product database is what we're looking for. Now, when we're looking on Amazon and we're searching by keywords, so we're typing in words to search and letters to search like N, and then looking at these suggestions down here, like no show socks men. That's another one that stands out to me as like cheap to ship. Here on Amazon, here on Jungle Scout, we can actually pull Amazon's entire database. So instead of searching by keyword, we can search by category. And the categories I like to sell in are things like baby's a good one, health and household, home and kitchen, kitchen and dining, office products, pet supplies, patio, lawn and garden, sports and outdoors, toys and games, all these ones that are basically you can sell pretty simple products without a lot of moving parts and that have really high demand. So we're going to search for something in the sports and outdoors column for this. Now, what we do here is we actually filter in Amazon's entire product catalog at once. So we know we want a minimum price of about $10 and a maximum price of about $50 because we want cheap to buy and therefore it's going to be on the cheaper end to sell. And I'm going to show you exactly why we want that in the launch phase. Now we don't worry about reviews because it's better to manually sort these than actually have this machine sort them for us. We want to make sure the bestseller rank. We want a minimum bestseller rank. We want a maximum bestseller rank of 5,000 because that's how we know they're actually making money. And that is all we actually need to do. And we just need to hit that search button and it's going to pull all of that data for us. Once again, the link to this Jungle Scout is in the description. And what's going to happen is I like to sort by revenue again because it's going to pull, we sort by revenue, 60,000 products that we can now sort through. Now, the top ones are always going to be these big brands or sports labeled or patented products that are doing really well. So you sort of want to flick through there. If anything catches your eye that's not really a patented product, you can stop. But you want to really just start flicking through and getting to the pages that have the revenue goal that you want. You can see these are doing ridiculous amounts of revenue, $300,000 a month. So actually probably a quicker way to actually cap this because these products are doing hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a month. We can do a max revenue of 30,000 and that's going to take away the really big companies for us because that's not who we're trying to model or what we're trying to sell as a beginner. And you can see we sort by revenue now. Oh, I did 3,000. That would explain the $2,000 products, which are on the other end too small for us. We want the Goldilocks. We want the just right between $10,000 and $30,000 per month. So once again, we'll sort by revenue. We can there's still 22,000 products in this database that's being pulled. And you can see, cool, something like floor mats. And once again, remember what the second thing we're looking for is ease to sell. So this is demand. We know they have demand. Now we're looking for ease to sell, and then we're going to look at competition. So I'm just going to come in here really quickly, and none of this is pre-planned at all. This is looks small. It looks just like a nylon belt. So I'm going to click on this listing and go over to Amazon and see what it is. Quick release EDC belt, nylon gun belt. Okay, that's why I didn't know what it was. We don't have many guns in Australia, but it's a gun belt. So I can come up here and type in gun belt because that's the keyword, and it's going to pull. It's not a gun belt. These are the gun belts. Rigger's belt. Is that a gun belt? I guess they are gun belts. Okay, cool. So there's lots of different types of gun belts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Jungle Scout now using this app up here. Remember, you can unicorn smash if you're looking for the free version. And I can then sort by revenue. Hopefully you're picking up the pattern by now because I want to see that there's demand in the niche and not just for that one product. 6 figures a month, 5 figures, all the way down. All these people are doing over $10,000 a month, which is our goal. Now we look for the slowest gazelle. Cool. Which listing can I beat out? And you can see this is actually a lot higher competition than the metal straws. But what I can see is there's someone with a low listing quality score down here. A 5 out of 10 listing quality score. I'm going to show you exactly how we beat that in terms of listing quality score for ourselves. But they're doing $20,000 a month at a $40 price point. They get 13 sales a day at $40, making $21,000 a month. If we can replicate that, we're going to be doing really well. But I'm going to show you not just how to replicate that, but how to improve on this listing in order for you to get success. So these are the 2 ways to search for products. Remember, the free way is to use the keywords. You always want to look for demand and market depth. That's key. Then you want to look for competition, but competition can be really high. It doesn't matter about that. I'm actually going to come out with a video on why competition actually doesn't matter and how to make yourself impervious to competition. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in phase 3 of this video. But we can sell something like this as long as there's high demand and there's a way for us to innovate and capture a small segment of the market and then monopolize that small segment. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. So something like this, the Blue Alpha gear. The third thing actually you can do when you're looking for a product that I like to do is make sure it has been maintaining their bestseller rank. So this is an app called Keepa, Keepa, and it's really good for making sure that this product hasn't just started to do well temporarily and then bounces back up and does bad. You basically look at how well they've been selling, which is measured in sales rank, and you can see they have consistently been selling really well, and they're actually trending downwards. So they're actually doing really well with their launch. They've got a nice consistent trend down. They've been selling for almost 2 years, but making really good money, tens of thousands of dollars a month since then. So now that we have ourselves a product, now that we understand the slowest gazelle, and we understand we don't have to be the best seller in the niche that we're going for, we can understand that we can sit at number 15 in our niche and still hit our goal of $10,000 a month, and it's almost better to be doing that. We're going to show you exactly how to source this product and then boost this product, which once again is what people aren't teaching, and it's going to be the necessary thing that you need to do in order to have a successful Amazon FBA product. Awesome. So for step 2, for actually getting this product supplied for us, is one of the easiest steps we can actually take. What we need to do is we need to go to Alibaba.com, and this is a massive catalog of suppliers, mainly from China, who are going to make these products really, really cheap for us. So we're going to type in gun belt. I don't know why. Did belt get typed? No, I've just searched for a gun on Alibaba, which is probably not great. So I'm going to make sure I go back and type in gun belt. Now you can see these are very similar to the ones that are actually selling on Amazon. And for reference, we can pull up Amazon and go back to gun belt and actually see what's selling, because this is going to bleed into the third step of boosting our product. Now what we're going to do is we can immediately see what the gun belts are selling for over here. So this is a 2-inch tactical Cobra EDC belt made of nylon, and it looks good. You know, it looks like a really high quality clip, looks like a cool belt. $6 to $7.50 a piece. If we pop back over here and we look for something similar, this one right here. So this is very similar clip. Obviously they have put their own brand name on it, and this is a 2-pack here. You can see it's selling for $25, and it's just a 2-pack. They're called Fairwin is their brand name. They've just put their brand name on it, and that's all you have to do is you can come in here and you can get your brand name placed on this clip or on this belt, and you've private labeled this product, which is really good because no one can steal your brand name. You know, that's your protected brand name, and then you can start to build a brand around that people love and have people just keep coming back to you in order to buy their gun belts. You can see this one here. It's much cheaper than we found above. So this is at $2.50 a unit. Meaning if this person's buying it for $2.50 a unit, they've got 2 units, it's $5, they're selling for $26. And we have to figure out the profitability on that. So you can do that actually using AMZ Scout, which is a very good software that you can use. It's also like Jungle Scout, and I actually use both AMZ Scout and Jungle Scout in tandem with each other because they both actually complement each other really well. And you want to have a look. You can see AMZ Scout actually work out how much the fees are on Amazon for you, and you can click on that and you can see they've got the exact calculations of what Amazon charge for the products that they sell for them. So you can see this is a $25 product. I can see that they are paying $5 per product, and they're going to be shipping. So additional cost per product, say $1 shipping. I can come down here. I can see the total fees. It's going to be $8.54 plus $6 is going to be $14.54, which means we're making about $10.45 per item. And then they times it by how many items a month they're selling, which they're getting from the bestseller rank on Amazon. And you can see they're selling $5,236 of profit, not of revenue. Remember, the revenue you can tell through Jungle Scout, or you can tell just right here through our MZ tracker as well. You can see they're doing $12,000 of revenue and $5,000 of profit a month just by buying their gun belts here and selling them on Amazon, which is absolutely incredible because it's so simple to do. However, you need to make sure that you find a trusted seller, which is so easy to do. So many people are actually concerned about not having a trusted seller that they don't get started. And I've never had a problem with my supplier. What I recommend you to do if you are worried is you come up here and you click Trade Assurance. And that means you're searching for these products that that Alibaba themselves will refund your money if you're not happy with the service. They will refund it, and there's no risk for you to buy these products because you can open a dispute with Alibaba, tell them what went wrong, and Alibaba can decide that if their supplier did not deliver what they promised to deliver, you will get all of your money back. So there's risk-free now. That's how you find a trusted supplier. And then you also would just want to see, you can see suppliers have reviews, the products have reviews, and the supplier have reviews. You want to go for a supplier that's been selling for at least 3 to 4 years. You can see the more years that they've been selling, the more you can actually trust them. It's so easy. Don't think that these people are going to run away with your money, because it's what holds most people back. And in reality, they're going to want to build a long-term relationship with you, and they're going to want to give you the best prices for your product, because they know that people on Amazon sell a lot of product, and the person who's supplying this product to this person are also making a lot of money. So remember, you want to form a symbiotic relationship. Now, a couple of quick points here, not where I want to focus because it's so simple to do, to actually come in here and actually just contact a supplier and give them a message. And once again, if you sign up to the free training description, I'm going to give you the templates of these messages and exactly how you can get your product cheaper than what is displayed here on Alibaba. So make sure you sign up to that free training. But just come in here if you don't want that free training, message them, tell them what you want, and make sure that you are clicking trade assurance. If you don't want to click trade assurance, I don't always click trade assurance here, and you can actually get products cheaper, but that's just because I have a little bit of experience here and I can tell when suppliers are real. I can see what sort of factories they have. I can see their feedback, and I'm not actually worried that people are going to run away with my money on Alibaba, because Alibaba do an amazing job at vetting suppliers. So once we supply our product, what we need to do is we need to make ourselves impervious to competition. This is basically where most people teach things wrong on Amazon. So it's very important that you listen to this, because if you can understand this, then you are going to be able to make as much money as you want on Amazon just by using this technique. Now, everybody weighs up demand versus competition. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, I need a very high demand product with low competition, because say there's demand for these magnetic eyelashes, and I'm going to show you exactly why there's a lot of demand and low competition for these magnetic eyelashes in a second. These are magnetic eyelashes. They clip onto your eye. Really cheap to source, really cheap to ship, of course. A great beginner product. And there's a lot of demand. A lot of girls want these magnetic eyelashes, and there's low competition because it's a relatively new product, about a couple of years old. But what happens is the higher demand a product has, there's millions of people who are selling on Amazon FBA, and what they do is they see these products and they start selling them. And there's so many sellers out there. I know so many people who have bought a product. By the time it gets to them, by the time they've ordered it and their suppliers made it for them and it gets to them, there's 3 or 4 other people already selling that product on Amazon. And they get scared about that. And they're like, oh, these people are already doing what I wanted to do. There's not much I can do about it now. And what happens is, as time goes on, doesn't matter how in demand your product is, it's going to be going this way. There's going to be more and more competition. And actually, the higher demand your product has, the quicker it's going to drift this way into a high competition product. And it's going to very quickly cross this line where it has more competition than demand, which would not be a good product to sell, because it means the prices are all going to come down and it's not going to be profitable at all. And fidget spinners is a really good example of this. When fidget spinners came out, there was such a sharp trend. You know, everyone wants a fidget spinner. There was an insane demand for it. And with that insane demand, obviously competition arose, and fidget spinners trended this way. And over time, the fad died out, the demand died down, and the competition was actually still growing, and they just absolutely dropped to zero. But this is the life cycle of every single product. It's going to come out, people are going to really want it, and then people are going to jump on that demand and bring the price down and also oversaturate the market, and there's going to be a trend where every single product is going to cross this line over here. And you may ask me, okay, so why are we selling on Amazon? Why are we doing this? Well, first of all, you have to realize that people are making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. There's literally hundreds of thousands of people who are making 6 figures a month selling on Amazon products. So there's a lot of room for you to make money. But what most people do is they do it in a very short, focused way. So short-term focused way, where they're like, cool, I'm going to ride this trend until it crosses this line, then jump on another product, which is a good idea, but it's a lot more work. And what I want you to know, and I want you to take away from this video, is that you can actually make yourself impervious to this competition. So like I had before, if I get a little nice blue color here, we can make it a little bit thicker. We can actually protect ourselves in this nice blue bubble. So that this competition actually goes around us and we can stick into a niche and actually create more demand for our product and less competition for our product. So we're not getting pulled across this line. And this impervious bubble is going to stick with us. And that's what boosting your product is actually going to do, because you can see over here on the right, I've got 4 ways that you can actually separate yourself from this competition and not get pulled across this line. One is timing. So if you timed fidget spinners right, remember fidget spinners started way up here. And if you timed it perfectly, and if you came out exactly when fidget spinners came out, you'd be the #1 fidget spinner seller, just because you've got that history, you've got that sales record, you've got that momentum behind your listing, and people are going to go to you. And although you are going to get pulled across and you may need to decrease your price a little bit, you are the first person into that market. You're the first mover, and you're going to have a lot of demand for your listing and product. So you could time it right. And that's why I sort of say, keep your eye out for new inventions. EarPods came out recently, and I had a friend who did really well selling cases for EarPods, silicon cases for EarPods. And it's a great product to sell because demand's up, because no one's selling silicon cases for EarPods as they first come out. But as they keep coming out and as people feel the demand, it's going to trend this way and cross that line. But if you don't want to time it right, and I don't actually think timing it right is the best long-term strategy, even if you do want to do that short-term, you can have a higher budget than your competitors. That's how you can pay more for ads, you can pay more for marketing expenses, you can make your product better, your customer happy with that budget, and you can really outstrip your competition that way. Now, a lot of beginners don't have a bigger budget, because you may have a competitor selling your exact same product who has a $200,000 budget. And if you've got a $5,000 or a $3,000 or even a $500 budget, which is totally fine. I actually started with $500. You can't compete with them on budget, and you're going to be pulled across this line. Marketing is the same. Like, I love marketing. I've studied marketing. I've launched Kindle books. I've launched I've launched digital courses on YouTube. I've launched 20 Amazon products. I have Udemy courses at a social media agency. I love marketing, and I'm actually quite a good marketer, and I can actually compete with other people based on just marketing alone. I can outmarket them. But if you're a beginner, it's going to be hard to do. If you have this training, you're going to be a lot better. If you have the course in the description, if you want that, you're going to be a lot better, but you're still not going to be 100% impervious unless you are an incredible marketer. But you don't have to depend on that either. And that's where boosting comes into play. And that's why I want to show you what boosting is and how you can make yourself impervious to this pull across the line by boosting your product. Now, what boosting is, and if we jump back to this graphic here, you can see I've got 2 things in here: Occam's question and the listing versus product. Now, Occam's question is pretty simple. If you don't know what Occam's razor is, and I can show you Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a principle from philosophy, so it's a philosophical principle that basically means the simplest explanation is normally the right explanation. So if your girlfriend hadn't texted you in a day, and that's unusual, and there's 10 different reasons. She could be dead, she could be asleep for a day, she could have pneumonia, she could have lost her phone, she could have forgotten about you, and there's these 10 reasons why your girlfriend hasn't texted you in a whole day. And obviously, it's not, okay, they've got 10 reasons why she hasn't texted me. There's a 10% chance that each one happened. It's Occam's razor is, what is the simplest explanation why she hasn't texted you? And it's like, okay, her phone broke. And Occam's razor means like, okay, that is most likely the right answer. And in most cases, it's going to be the right answer. So Occam's question, as we adapt it to Amazon FBA, if we go back to Gumbelt, the question you need to be answering with your product is, why are your customers buying your product over your competitors? That's the question that you need to ask yourself when sourcing and listing your product. I'm going to show you a few ways that you can actually do this, but you need to have this question answered. So when people type in your keyword, such as a gun belt, and scroll down, what is making your product better than your competitors? What's making your product the choice that people want to buy compared to your competitors? There's a few ways that you can do this. And you can see if I go back to this graphic over here, you can do it in your listing, or you can actually do it in your product. So a few examples of this would be, there is no red belt here. I can't see a red gun belt. And if someone was looking for a red gun belt, the answer could literally be, my gun belt is red, and I know people want a red gun belt. That's the answer to Occam's question when it comes to your product listing. But if people aren't looking for a red gun belt, then it's not a good answer to the question, because there needs to be demand for it. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. So make sure you do sign up for that free training, because I'm going to teach you. I can't teach you everything step by step in this. Otherwise, it would go for hours. So make sure you do click on the link in the description for more training like this. But what you need to do is you need to understand that something like a red belt, that's me changing my product. That's me innovating on my product. But a lot of the times for beginners, it's hard to actually spend that money on your product. It's hard to innovate and not buy something that's pretty standard with your label on it. So what I'm looking at down here, and it's a good example of it, is see this belt right here? This is a very, very nice picture. You know, it's a different style belt. I don't see that style anywhere else. It's got a nice leather looking interior here, and it's got 4,000 reviews. Now there's only one other up here with 4,000 reviews. And you're like, okay, if I own this product, why are people buying my product over my competitors? Well, one, it's the cheapest out here. Two, it's the nicest looking one. And three, it has the most reviews. So that's why I would personally, if I was buying one of these, I would buy that one just because of those 3 reasons. Now, 3 reasons is a lot. Look at this one. It's another nice looking one. You don't actually have to have 3 reasons. You can only have 1 reason, because remember, all these products on this page are doing over $10,000 a month. So you don't need to be like, okay, I need the best top reviews, I need the best photos, I need the best product, I need the best color. You can just pick one, and it's very easy for you to be like someone like Blade Tech. They've got, no one else has a cool sounding name here. And remember, you're going to want to make sure that people actually want what you're offering here. So Blade Tech sounds cool. For people who want a belt that sounds cool and is labeled, you're going to go for Blade Tech. It's also higher end in the market. So people buy my belt because it's higher end and it's got a really cool branding on it. That could be your Occam's answer. It could be because I sell a 2-pack. Nobody else sells a 2-pack, but you can see everyone on this first page is differentiating themselves somehow. And I'm not going to go into too many examples of this because it's up to you to go through, and I'll tell you really quickly how you do it. You go through your competitors' reviews. This is the best way to do it. Go to their reviews, and you go to the 2 and 3 star reviews, and you see what they're saying. So you can see a 3-star reviews are in here. You can see what they don't like. Dye bleeds from sweat. Good solid belt, mediocre seller. Nice belt, but the sizing is off. Stretches significantly after 8 months. And you can see the problems with these other belts. And someone, for example, a simple example, could say, I love this belt, wish it came in red. And if a few other people said that, that's when you'd come out with a red belt like this. Just a regular belt. It's just a regular belt, but thicker. As far as belt goes, it's a good belt. As far as not bending or sagging. So you can see sagging. People asking for a belt that doesn't sag, holds. So if I was to come out with a belt, you'd come heavyweight, non-sagging gun belt. And that could be your Occam's question. So why are people buying your stuff? Because it's the heaviest duty, non-sagging. Someone said something about these loopholes not tearing, so like reinforced gun belt. And that could be my answer to that question. But without one of these separations, you're just another fish in the sea. You're just selling what everybody else is selling, and you're not innovating and actually getting ahead of your competitors. So make sure you can answer this question, and you can ask other people to answer this question for you, and they give you an actual answer. That means you're going to get sales. So that's Occam's question. And just to reiterate on that one more time, because you can do it in your listing and you can do it in your product. So you can reinforce your belt. You can actually make those changes to your product, which might be hard as a beginner. So instead of that, you can just have the best photo. My photo looks the best. Like no one's photo looks as high tech and as cool as mine. Or you can just change the brand name. Cool. Now I have a really cool brand name on my gun belt that nobody else has, and I know people want this because I can see people are buying the other one with another cool brand name. So you need to make sure that you're putting up this bubble so that no matter what happens, people can't actually pull you across that line because people want what you're separating the market into. I now sell the world's best red gun belt. You're a step ahead of everyone because you timed it right. No one else is selling a red gun belt. You're going to be leagues ahead if anyone ever tries to copy you. And then the next thing, and this is getting quite advanced, is making sure that you innovate every time you reorder. So I call this the innovation escalator. Meaning every time you put in a reorder, every time you need a restock, you innovate one more time on your product. And if you do that, no one will ever be able to catch you because you're always at least one step ahead, even if there are people out there imitating you. So that now brings us to step 4. We now have to list our product on Amazon. Now, actually listing a product on Amazon is really easy. All you have to do is sign up for a seller account, create a listing, and actually just put in the details of what you want to list. But what I'm going to tell you is how to optimize this listing to make sure that you're actually getting sales. Now, what I actually forgot to go through with you, and I'll go through this quickly with you, is that most people actually fail when launching on Amazon. 9 out of 10 people, actually 99 out of 100 people are not going to have a $100,000 a month product that's selling up there. And most people are going to get stuck at finding a product. A lot of people are going to get stuck at actually sourcing that product. And when I say find, actually investing in that product. Very few people make it past that first hurdle. And if you do, you've separated yourself from the crowd. You then want to make sure that you're improving the product and of course listing, and a lot of people actually fail on the launch, which is why I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid every one of these failure points. Because the thing is, and I say this a lot, it's not a gamble. It's not, okay, there's a 90% chance I fail. There's a 100% chance if you fail if you don't take the right steps. And these are the right steps you need to take. And if you want more of the right steps, do make sure you click on the free training link in the description, and also jump into our paid course as well, where we take you by the hand and lead you step by step. That's also in the description if you want all these steps in full with you, so that you're not going to worry about being part of the 9 out of 10 people who actually fail, but being able to circumnavigate these really, really common mistakes that people make. Jump into our course and we'll show you exactly how to do that and how we've helped hundreds of people get to $10,000 a month by doing the same process over and over. It's just a proven formula. So inside this proven formula, we need to understand that when we list our product, we need high SEO, which is search engine optimization. We need to be appearing very high in the search results. When someone searches for gun belt, we want to appear first every single time, because then we're getting all of that traffic looking at our product. And then we want to increase click-through, which means once we get all that traffic looking at our product, we want all that traffic clicking on our product and then clicking through to buy. So I'm going to show you exactly how Amazon determines who gets the best rankings on their listings, and how to increase your click-through. And we're going to go through the 5-step checklist for listing your item that you need to make sure that you check off to make sure your listing is fully optimized. So this is a search result that Amazon have for gun belt. Now you can see there's 5 top spots here. Now this is slightly hypothetical, but I want to explain the theory behind this more than anything here. Now, this is real estate. Just like in the real world, real estate is worth money. Land is worth money. When someone types in gun belt, we know there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of those searches every single month on Amazon, which that's traffic, that's foot traffic. So you know that these listings are basically real estate that's worth money. Now, if you're Amazon and you make money every time someone buys a product on your store, you want to make sure that you're getting as many sales as possible on your store, and yet getting people to buy as many products as possible on your store. So what you do with your most valuable real estate, which is this top line of products when someone searches whatever keyword they search, is you want to make sure that you're putting your highest converting products up there. For example, if 20% of people who see this belt actually buy it, Amazon are going to be like, okay, wow. If we just keep putting this belt up early, we're going to have 20% of people who type in gun belt actually go and buy something. Whereas if something like this over here, and I've blanked this out because this is an exercise we're going to do together, was only converting at 0.6%. Amazon are like, get that away from the really valuable real estate. We can't be wasting all these valuable eyeballs and people wanting to buy gun belts on something that doesn't actually sell. So Amazon are going to be putting up the best sellers and the highest converting listings at the top of their search results. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you're up there in the winning circle, you're up there in the winning circle and you're going to have a $10,000 plus a lot a month product. So the key is making sure that we have a high conversion rate and a high click-through rate for our product, so that instead of having a 0.6% click-through, we could have a 15.6% click-through, and Amazon are going to be out there promoting our product. Now, I don't want to go too in depth here because there's actually a lot of other areas where Amazon will promote our product if we can optimize our click-through. I call them the product web. If you want to do a little bit more research, or if you want to get the free training in the description, you can go through that and understand that in more detail. But for now, you have to understand we want to increase this click-through and that SEO. So there's 5 steps here: title, images, description, bullet points, and reviews. This is what is going to not only increase your SEO, but increase your click rate and your conversion. So you need to identify what keyword you're looking for. And there's a lot of ways to do that. For us, we're going to be looking at gun belt. So we know that 100,000 people search gun belt. We want to make sure, SEO-wise, that is in our title. We want to make sure it's in our description at least once. And we want to make sure it's in our bullet points. And there's a lot of really cool strategies we can do there and actually hack the Amazon algorithm to rank high. But there's a pink box around these first 2 because these are the most important things: the title and the images. Because when someone searches gun belt on Amazon, they see the image and the title. They also see reviews, but they've actually proven to not be as necessary as you think in order to increase your conversion rate. So if you can see this one over here, a really amazing looking photo. Like this photo compared to that photo, like blows it out of the water. Spend time on your image. The second thing you need to do with the image is really make sure it's as high resolution as possible, because Amazon are actually testing the resolution of your image and making sure it's really high res and clear. So don't put up a blurry image or a small file. Make sure you have a high res image, and it's going to increase your ranking. And then your title. You want to make sure your title is full, and you want to make sure that you have your keywords in your actual title, because then you're going to be more likely to rank high. So the triple keyword thing is to have it in your title, to have it in your description, to have it in your bullet points, and in the back end you'll also be having in your keywords. But I don't want to go into too much of this detail because I don't want to lose you here, because I want to go on to the launch. Once we've optimized our listing, we need to understand that we then need to launch our product. And this is the exciting part. This is when we actually go from having a product that's listed on Amazon, you can see it, it's in public, your friends, your family can go and see it, and it's sort of exciting. But now you've invested your money, now you've invested your time, and you want to make that back. You want to actually start paying you. Remember, this is the 5 steps to 10K a month. You don't want to cheer and succeed because you have a product on Amazon. Anyone can do that. There's millions and millions of products. You need to have a successful Amazon product. Now, in order to have a successful Amazon product, what you need to understand is you need to fake it before you make it. I call it the launch dip. And this basically means you need to match the top listings in your keyword and in your niche. So Amazon are reserving the top positions on the SEO for people who are converting high, but also people who are selling a lot of product. And this ties into the product web too, when you start getting suggested on these items listings. So you need to understand that you need to actually start getting sales before Amazon will promote you. Because Amazon say, wow, a lot of people are buying this, it's got a high conversion rate. We will also promote it to our list, which is hundreds of millions of people, and we'll promote it high on the search results, and we'll put their product web, which is the suggestion to buy your product on other people's product, really high up in their ranking. You need to first actually have the stats. You need to have a high converting listing, and you need to have something that consistently sells. So how do you do that? There's actually 3 ways, 3 of the most powerful ways to do it this year. Like, this is not 3 years ago sort of thing. This is the up-to-date stuff. A lot of stuff that used to work doesn't actually work anymore. And these are the 3 ways that if you can master these 3 ways, you don't really ever need to think about anything else. You can always expand onto new ways to get new customers, but you basically want to take your product from oblivion, from being one of many, many products, into the realm of being the product that Amazon always promotes when someone types in your keyword. Now, the first, and I put this first because it is the most powerful way of doing it, is Amazon pay-per-click, which essentially means that you're paying Amazon to rank really, really high. Some of these will be sponsored posts, which basically means you're going in and you're working out what keywords you want to rank for, what keywords are going to convert to your listing. And remember, you've got a boosted product, so something that's unique and doesn't have many competitors in your niche, and you're going to be the first to market, and you're going to make sure that you're really excelling on that unique selling proposition that you've mastered. So that means your conversion rate's already going to be high. You then need to figure out what keywords. So these are going to be different keywords that you're putting a listing on. This is a screenshot from one of my accounts. And you can see I spent $700 and made back $6,700 in sales. I spent $2,400. I made back $12,900 in sales. If you can master this skill, if you can know how to get 300 sales for $2,500 and get $12,000 back, it's just a machine. You're just going to be putting all your money in this, and all that momentum is going to be coming from Amazon itself. So that is literally running ads on Amazon's platform. Again, if you want any more detailed training, get the link in the description on this stuff, and I'll show you exactly step by step how we do set it up. But this video is already running too long, and I want to make sure that I give you as much overall information as possible. The second biggest way is really good for a launch boost, really quick launch, but it will peter out quite quickly. But if you want to give your item that kickstart and really kick it into Amazon's winning circle, you can do Instagram shoutouts. So Instagram shoutouts is basically having your image displayed on someone else's profile. So, and we walk you through exactly how to do this. And once again, link in the description. If you've made it this far, make sure you do not miss out on that free training in the description. But to get the rest of this overview, what you need to understand is that you can go onto Instagram. You can find an account. So say this is an Explorer page. So this is when I'm selling the scratch maps and they're travel-based products. I went onto this page. I paid about $200, and they put my media, an image of my Amazon product, there in front of 1 million people for $200 for 24 hours. So I could almost got in front of 1 million people, probably got in front of a couple 100,000 people actually saw it for $200. And boom, big spike in sales. And guess what? Amazon start noticing that. They also start noticing, because I had a coupon that is a high converting product, and they started promoting my product for me to their own list. A third one, which I won't get into too much detail with, but there's a very powerful way to do it through Facebook groups. Go and find, if you are selling a gun belt, go and find gun owners in Facebook groups. There's 1 million pages with millions of members. Go and find them and connect with them and offer them value, and then offer them your product, and you're going to get hundreds of sales that way. Now, if you can do these 5 steps, if you can go from finding and sourcing and boosting and listing and launching your product, you've got a product. It's not a crapshoot. It's a guaranteed route to $10,000 a month. If you can do these properly, because you know this, because there's other people out there who have taken these steps and are actually making $10,000 a month. And there's in your niche, you've looked and you've made sure that people are making $10,000 a month. If you take those steps that those people take, you're going to achieve the results. Now, if you take these steps plus the steps that those people take, you're going to excel in your niche. You're going to be the one that owns your niche and making a lot of money. And the best part is step 6 is just repeat. Launch a new product. We have a gun belt. Now we need a gun clip. And we have a big list of people who've bought our product already, and we can message them and say, hey, grab your new gun clip. And that's going to boost our next product into the winning circle. So now we have 2 products making 10K a month. Start scaling a brand, and you can either exit your brand or you can keep growing that brand and do whatever you want. That's why Amazon is such an awesome opportunity. And I'm excited to show you exactly how you can go from wherever it is you're at now. I know you really want to be succeeding at this because you've made it through this video in its entirety. So well done. So make sure you do like this video, subscribe, and grab that free training in the description. And we're going to make sure that you're one of our next success stories if you can take the steps that our success stories have already taken, which are these ones right in front of you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you do subscribe. We've got a lot more of these videos coming out for you. Grab the free training, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video.